अगर मैं 1 टन कार्गो ट्रक से भेजूं एंड वाटरवेज से भेजूं तो कॉस्टिंग में क्या डिफरेंस आएगा?
Moving a cargo by waterways charges takes you around 1.2 rupees per ton kilometer, and for road it takes 2.28 rupees per kilometer. So the saving is very clear. Yeah.
So it's way more profitable.
It is the most fuel efficient mode of transportation.
The risk factor involved in this particular segment is higher. That is why it was lesser known for so much time.
The biggest challenge we face, if you are carrying cargo through a 2000 metric ton ship, it carries cargo equivalent to one rail rake and 120 trucks.
Which businesses can take the most advantage of this?
Sectors like cement, fertilizer.
अगर आपको हर इंडियन को एक लाइन बतानी हो अबाउट इनलैंड वाटरवेज तो वो क्या होगी?
We have recently
हम सब लोग रोड और रेल के बारे में तो सुनते हैं, बट आई वाज आल्सो शॉक्ड कि इंडिया के पास 100 से ज़्यादा नेशनल वाटरवेज है। एंड टुडे वी हैव विद अस चेयरमैन ऑफ इनलैंड वाटरवेज अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया श्री सुनील कुमार सिंह। तो आज हम आपसे बहुत सारी बातें जानेंगे इस विषय में। सो सर, आप एक चीज़ बताइए कि अगर इंडिया के पास 100 से ज़्यादा नेशनल वाटरवेज हैं तो ये चीज़ अब तक इतनी ज़्यादा पब्लिकली नोन क्यों नहीं थी?
Actually, that's a fair question. Actually, historically, if you see, India's focus post-independence was on developing road and rail infrastructure for mass connectivity.
Okay.
Although the waterways were naturally available, but its utilization was not up to the mark because of infrastructure awareness and its integration with broader logistics chain.
Okay.
Only in the past decade, the focused attention of government through policy investment and policy measures and investment happened in infrastructure development, and the results are now showing. Our cargo movement, which was only 18 million tons during 2014, has now reached up to 146 million tons.
Okay.
More than 8 times of the cargo movement happening in 2014.
सो थोड़ा सा हम कंपैरिजन करते हैं। अगर मैं 1 टन कार्गो ट्रक से भेजूं एंड वाटरवेज से भेजूं तो कॉस्टिंग में क्या डिफरेंस आएगा?
Actually, if you move your cargo by waterways,
Okay.
moving a cargo by waterways takes you around 1.2 rupees per ton kilometer.
Okay.
Whereas for railways it is 1.4 rupees per kilometer, and for road it takes 2.28 rupees per kilometer. So the saving is very clear.
Yes.
If you see 1 liter of fuel, you can move 24 tons of cargo on roadways, 85 tons kilometer of cargo on railways, and 105 ton kilometer by waterways.
By waterways.
Yeah.
So it's way more profitable.
It is the most fuel efficient mode of transportation now compared to road and rail.
Okay.
Yeah.
And which sectors or which businesses can take the most advantage of this?
The industries working in sectors like cement, food grains, fertilizer, those who are moving their bulk cargo,
Okay.
they can very well utilize this waterways mode because it is much more cheaper than other modes of transportation.
Correct. And what are the challenges in waterways transportation?
The biggest challenge in maintaining the river depth across the river, along the river, and across the seasons. Because see, waterways, what happens, river is very dynamic. It changes its course.
Correct.
Continuous siltation happens, and flow is varies. Unlike road and rail, they are not static.
Correct.
They are moving. They are actually dynamic. So maintaining continuous depth, required depth for safe movement of vessels is the biggest challenge we face. To tackle that, we have introduced this assured depth dredging protocol along the rivers to maintain the depth for safe movement of vessels.
That is why we are seeing an increase in the transportation now.
Yeah. And now you can see in 2014 the total cargo moved on waterways was only 18 million tons. Now it has reached up to 146 million tons in 2024.
Okay.
In a decade, the growth was around more than 8 times.
People are preferring this.
People are preferring, because earlier what has happened, historically, if you see, rail and road, they had head start, and what industries they grew along the road and railways. So they don't have to incur much cost on first and last mile connectivity. Whereas in the past many years, waterways was neglected, and no industry you find along the rivers.
Correct.
So now, since what this ecosystem is getting ready, now private sector is also investing in the inland waterways. So slowly we are also building multimodal logistics hubs along the rivers. Once these hubs connect these river ports to rail and road, then this ecosystem will be ready for efficient use by cargo owners, and we are expecting significant rise in this cargo movement on waterways in next 2 to 3 years.
But as you were also saying, the course of river keeps on changing. Seasons change. Sometimes the river dries up.
Yeah.
Sometimes the water flow is a lot of water flow is there. So I'm sure this must be affecting the movement, right? So the risk factor involved in this particular segment is higher. That is why it was lesser known for so much time.
It was earlier. It was the earlier picture that we were not able to provide this infrastructure. There was not much infrastructure for cargo handling, or in terms of terminal and jetties. And at the same time, there were no surety of providing adequate depth for the vessel movement. So investment was very low.
Okay.
Now, in the last decade, we are investing in terminal infrastructure. We are investing in fairway development, and we are investing in providing navigational aids for 24-hour navigation by vessels. So we are now able to provide adequate depth for safe movement of vessels, and that is why this change you can see in last 1 decade that has happened, which is now a success story for inland waterways.
Got it. Yeah. So what are the different modes of transport? Like which all transports are there?
See, our cargo moves through rail, road, and waterways within the country.
Yeah.
Okay. So since rail and road they developed a long time ago, our focus was to develop rail and road for mass connectivity. In that process, this waterways we forgot, which were used to be.
I'm asking, like in waterways, so you just have large ships, or there are 2-3 alag.
Yeah, there are many types of ships, ranging from vessel carrying 200 to 300 metric ton to 2000 metric tons.
Okay.
So if you are carrying cargo through a 2000 metric ton ship, then it carries cargo equivalent to 1 rail rake, and 120 trucks go off the road. In one vessel we carry this much.
अच्छा, आप बताइए, हाईवे बनाना ज़्यादा मुश्किल है या इसके लिए पोर्ट बनाना ज़्यादा मुश्किल है for our transportation?
See, for making highway you have to acquire land. But these are naturally provided. These are naturally available.
Correct. Yes.
Waterways is naturally available. You do not have to acquire land or something. You just have to develop fairway for safe movement of vessels, for which we have systems in place.
So what is fairway?
Fairway is the way you say road.
Okay.
For movement by trucks and all, you construct road. Sir. For movement of vessels, we develop fairway. Fairway that is a channel in the river. Okay. With width up to 50 meters and depth up to 2 to 3 meters, which we provide continuously throughout the year along the river.
ओके वाराणसी, हल्दिया, बोगीबील, पांडु जैसे मेजर टर्मिनल्स अब ऑपरेशनल है, बट क्या ये पूरी कैपेसिटी में अभी यूज़ हो रहे हैं या अभी ये रैंप अप हो रहे हैं?
The usage of these terminals are steadily increasing.
ओके
But yet, yes, we are not at full capacity right now. Haldia and Varanasi terminals, as you told me, are now being operational, and their cargo is moving to these terminals regularly. Whereas Bogibil and Pandu terminal in Assam, they are also a part of growing Northeast corridor.
ओके
So since once the more and more operators come on board and these trade routes become mature,
ओके
then we are expecting in next 2 to 3 years this capacity utilization of these terminals are going to increase significantly.
एंड कौन से पोर्ट से अभी सबसे ज़्यादा हम कर रहे हैं ट्रांसपोर्टेशन?
If you see, we don't consider port because here what happens in rivers, it's along the river there are so many ports.
ओके सो विच रिवर?
The river, this right now the highest cargo carrying river is Shastri river in Maharashtra,
ओके
followed by Amba and Tapi rivers, one in Maharashtra, one in Gujarat. But National Waterway 1 is now catching up, like Ganga Bhagirathi river system.
जैसे अभी रिवर टूरिज्म भी इंक्रीज हो रहा है, सो क्या ये एक चैलेंज है आप लोगों के लिए? क्योंकि जितना ज़्यादा ये इंक्रीज होता है लोग बहुत ज़्यादा कचरा फैलाते हैं and बहुत सारी चीज़ें अलग अलग होती हैं.
Sustainability is not negotiable, that I can tell you very clearly. We have strict protocol in place for management of waste disposal. And as you talked about cruise tourism in fact is proving as a boom for the local economy along the rivers who live, because earlier I must tell you there were only 3 rivers which were functional for river cruise.
Okay.
And there were 3 river cruise vessels operating. Now we are having around 15 waterways which are operational for river cruise, and 25 luxury cruises are operating on these. And because of these river cruises, the local economy of the riverine community which is living along the rivers, they also are now getting alternative source of revenue. Through these tourists, they come, they visit their local markets. They are able to sell their product to these tourists. At the same time, they are also into cargo operations. They are also going into this dredging and all. So they are getting alternative employment also.
ओके प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टमेंट इस सेक्टर में है अभी या?
Private investment is now growing. Initially, it was not there because this sector is nascent in India. But now, private sector is ever increasing. We have brought in 2 good schemes like Jal Vahak scheme and Jal Samriddhi. Jal Vahak scheme, under this scheme we are providing 35% reimbursement to the cargo owners for carrying their cargo through waterways. At the same time, we are having the scheduled services running from Kolkata up to Varanasi and Kolkata up to Guwahati.
Okay.
And Jal Samriddhi scheme, I must tell you, because this is we have developed a portal for online application for terminal development by private operators.
Okay.
And right now I am happy to tell you that 29 operators have applied, registered for opening private terminals. And before that also there are many operators have built their private terminals along the rivers. And one of the telling example, I must tell you that we have recently signed an agreement with Renus Logistics, a Germany-based logistics company, which is bringing more than 100 barges for running on our national waterways. You will be seeing this from the next year onwards. So this is telling the story of success story of inland waterways, how our national waterways are now becoming an integral part of our total logistics model mix.
हाइड्रोजन और इलेक्ट्रिक वेसल्स बहुत फ्यूचरिस्टिक साउंड करते हैं, बट आर दे प्रैक्टिकल फॉर इंडियन रिवर्स येट? एंड व्हाट आर यू लर्निंग फ्रॉम दोज पायलट प्रोजेक्ट्स इन वाराणसी एंड अयोध्या?
We are still at pilot stage.
Okay.
But This future is promising, looks promising. We have already deployed 2 hybrid electric catamaran vessels, one at Ayodhya and one at Varanasi, which are being utilized by public. These are green vessels, you must say. Emission is very low,
Okay.
are negligible. And at the same time, we have deployed in Varanasi one first indigenously built hydrogen fuel cell catamaran, which is having zero emission.
Okay.
At the same time, this ferry system, we are working on a plan to develop ferry ecosystem across 18 chosen cities in the country,
Okay.
and we will be working closely with state governments and city authorities to make it a reality in more cities.
That's great. अगर आपको हर इंडियन को एक लाइन बतानी हो about inland waterways तो वो क्या होगी?
The development of inland waterways is not just a story of infrastructure. It is the story of India rediscovering its roots and rewriting its future. The rivers that once birthed its civilization are now promising cleaner and smarter economy. The time to harness it now, and IWAI is doing it for you.
That's great. That's great. Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.